Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner with myself, OJ. I know I haven't done technical analysis in a very long time, so today, without further ado, let's jump into the charts. Let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and let's see what is going on. Are we going to crash any further, or is something better coming around the corner? Let's find out. All right, so let's look at Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart. As you can see, I'm looking at the longer term because really, I don't really care so much about the short term swings. Now, there's many people already calling for Bitcoin to go to 10,000 again. As you probably noticed on crypto Twitter or other social media. TikTok, I'm not really following so much. Twitter is really the one that I care more about. So many people are already talking about Bitcoin to 12K, Bitcoin to 10K. 9K, all of that doom and gloom and everything. And it's mainly because we broke this trend line here. This is the short-term trend line. In fact, if you look on the daily, this is more relevant because many people are actually looking at the daily, which is kind of a longer term, but it's not the really bigger picture. It's not the long term. And on the daily, breaking this trend line was bad. So yet again, many people are starting to feel really bearish. This is understandable. We're actually also forming somewhat of a double top here, and people are pointing out that if this double top is to play out, then we can expect a significant drop here below 20,000. Is that actually the most likely scenario? I would argue no, it's not. Now, what I really care about, let me go back to the weekly, is not really this trend line, because even though this was a trend line that was nice if we managed to keep, it was quite a strong momentum that we managed to build here that we actually broke. We still have not broken our longer term trend line, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is a trend line that we have been forming all the way back from 2020. This drop here in March 2020 at the start of the pandemic, and then after that, we had our recent drops at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. These are the points that I'm connecting here for this trend line that I'm showing you right now. And this is a much longer term trend line. So this is really what I care about. This is why I'm looking on the weekly, because that's not something that you would be analyzing in the shorter time frames. So this is the very important trend line that I'm really worried about. If we break this trend line, then I'm going to start getting bearish. So for the moment, I remain bullish as long as we keep above this trend line. So if we are to make a drop right now from where we are currently to this trend line, we have to come down to around 23,000, 23,100 to 23,000 or even 22,800. Whatever it is, of course, it's always a range. I expect that even if we come to test this trend line, even though right now we don't really have a strong indication that we are going to do that, but even if we do that, I'm expecting that we are going to bounce from here. I don't really see a case for Bitcoin to be breaking this trend line. It's quite a strong trend line, strong support here. I don't really see such a bearish case for Bitcoin that we are to break this trend line and start going towards the lower, the revisiting of the 16K, 15K, perhaps 14,000, 12,000, and then 10,000. I've told you many times already, for me, the bottom of this cycle was already back at the end of last year. With the FTX collapse, this was really the bottom of this cycle. I don't really see any case for us to be coming and revisiting these levels again, let alone breaking below these levels. I don't know what kind of an event has to happen for Bitcoin to actually come and crash all the way down back here and below. This has to be some major event, something like America banning Bitcoin or something as bad as that. And even that probably is not going to crush it that much. So guys, do not worry about Bitcoin going to 12,000, or if you're one of those people who are hoping for Bitcoin to go to 12,000, you will be disappointed, most likely. I don't really see this happening right now. Personally, I feel that, and also we have another support before even that 23,000 level. So first of all, this is the level that is very important right now. This is a strong support, but before that we have another support, and it's the previous low here that we did not revisit. As we drop down here, we actually made a higher low. At least for now, this is a higher low. We did not come all the way down to the previous low, which is sitting at 24,900. So if anything, I'm expecting that we could come down here, revisit this support level, and then bounce up from here. So this is another support that we have to break before we can talk about the 23,000 support. So by all means, guys, I don't really see such a bearish case for Bitcoin right now to be dropping below 20K. 23,000, if we are lucky to scoop Bitcoin around this price range, 24K perhaps, if we are lucky, we can scoop Bitcoin at around 23, 24K. But that would be it. I don't really see Bitcoin going any lower than that. Now let's take a look at Ethereum, because they're correlated. Ethereum and Bitcoin are correlated. And sometimes, not very often, but sometimes we can actually look at Ethereum to see what is happening with Bitcoin, or at least to see what could happen with Bitcoin. And as you can see, Ethereum has this 1690, 1690 resistance level here. And the support, it's quite a tight range. The support is at around 1640. This is the range that Ethereum is currently trading in. Unless Ethereum breaks below the 1640, we're not really looking at Ethereum going any lower. It already made that attempt, and as you can see, this is a wick that went all the way down to 1540, and very quickly, very quickly, this is the 8-hour chart. This is not even the longer term. Very quickly got bought up. So clearly, the bulls are quite aggressive as we get below 1,600. And this is another strong indication that we are not really expecting another drop here. Of course, it's possible, but I'm talking about what is the most likely scenario rather than, what could happen, all the scenarios. There's always more than one scenario, more than one possibility. I'm looking at what is the most likely one. We have fallen again within the range of this wedge pattern. We've been forming this wedge pattern for a whole year already, since June last year. And I'm expecting to break above this. I'm expecting to have a breakout on the upside from this wedge pattern. However, we are still not able to do that. From what I'm seeing, we are already preparing, we are gearing up to make this run on the upside again. Look at the stochastic RSI in the oversold region. And if we look on the daily, so as we get slightly shorter time frames, we are actually looking even more bullish. On the daily, we are already having this bullish cross in the two moving averages of the stochastic RSI, indicating that from this point we can expect a upwards price action. I am expecting that from this point on, we're going to start recovering. We're going to start going on the upside. And this is also an indication for Bitcoin. Now, if we go on the daily with Bitcoin and we take a look at the stochastic RSI, we can see that bullish cross in the two moving averages of the stochastic RSI, again indicating a upwards price action. Simple RSI also in the oversold region. In fact, it is really low. I haven't seen the simple RSI being at 19, being below 30. Typically just enters, just drops a little bit below 30, and then it starts going on the upside. We haven't been that low in the simple RSI since, not even last year in June. Last year in June, we were still higher than what we are right now. We went all the way down to 17. Currently, we are at 19. Last June, so that's more than a year ago, we were at 20, and that was the lowest point in recent history. Before that, in January 22, we were at 20 again. So as you can see, we don't really go that low. Okay, here finally I can find one reading. This is in March 2020. So this is the COVID pandemic. This is the drop that we made in March, just as the pandemic started. And this was a very momentaneous drop. It was just for a few days, and then very quickly we started recovering, and this is when we dropped to 15. So ever since March 2020, we have not seen the simple RSI print such a low reading. So I don't really see any case for Bitcoin to be dropping any lower than that, guys. Definitely from this point on, we are going to see upwards price action. So do not worry about Bitcoin. I personally feel that this was the drop. This was a corrective move in the long time frames. On the weekly, we can see this as the perfect corrective move. We have not turned the trend. We have not flipped it into a downtrend. And yet again, until we break this support here, this 23,000, this trend line, and unless we break below this upward trend line that we've been forming since 2020, we are not turning the trend. We are not bearish.
And here is a quick reminder to always keep your crypto safe. I hope you're using a cold wallet. I use several hardware wallets. My top preference right now is for this guy here. This is the Tangem wallet. It looks just like a credit card, and it's the best for day-to-day frequent use as it fits in my wallet with my other cards. And all I need to do is just tap it to my phone to approve transactions. Can't be any easier than that. This here is the one key touch. It's perfect for DeFi transactions and NFTs as well because it has a true color display. So it's ideal for that, and it's really compact and light. So also great for on the go. And for the long-term holdings, I use Keystone, Ledger, SecuX, Trezor, and this guy here, this is the Elipo Titan Mini. It's air gapped, so it's perfectly protected against any online risks. I actually published this ebook guide to all of the crypto wallets where I break down the most popular ones, and you can easily choose the right one for you. So get it for free by scanning this QR code or with the link from the description below. Remember to always keep your crypto safe and own your private keys. To find out more, get the guide.
All right, well, this is everything for today's analysis, guys. I hope this helps. And if you like this video, show your support, leave a like, and also leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you're buying any coins right now, or are you waiting? Are you actually waiting for more drops? Are you one of those people who are expecting Bitcoin to go to 20K or below 20K? I'm curious to know, because this way I will be able to make better content for you guys. So far, as you know, I remain bullish on Bitcoin, but I know that many people would disagree with me, and that's fine. We can disagree. This is perfectly fine. I want to know, what are you thinking? Are you feeling bullish or are you feeling bearish right now? Are you scared or are you chilled? Do you care about the short-term fluctuations of Bitcoin, or are you more of a long-term holder? This is all interesting to me because, as I said, this way I will know to structure my videos to have better content for you that is more relevant to you guys. Well, this is everything from me. Make sure that you check out the links in the description below, where I drop the links to all of the crypto services that I'm personally using and that I recommend to you. And while you're here, just pick another one of my videos and I'm gonna see you there.